Let's go into a message sent to us from Spencer. Now he says, I dated a lady for 2 years before her parents forced her into marriage with a different man. I love her, but since she's married now, I don't want to have anything to do with her. But she's pleaded with me to stay. She wants me to keep having sex with her or else she will end her life. I called her bluff, tried distancing myself, but she attempted to take her life through a drug overdose. I'm confused. Please help me. I know she's just using me and taking me for granted, knowing that I still love her. I can't do this anymore, but I'm scared if I try anything funny, her blood will be on my hands. These things are always tricky. Rosie, you want to take that?
You see, marriage as an institution is not only a physical exercise. It's an emotional exercise, it's a spiritual exercise, maybe even a cultural exercise. So sometimes interfering in a marriage, no matter how horrible it is or what the conditions are, I think that the moment you interfere in a marriage, you are definitely in the wrong. So you took the right stance by saying that, look, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore because you are married. I really respect you for that, and you're trying to stay away. It's unfortunate that when she threatened to commit suicide, she actually went ahead with it. And people who threaten to commit suicide just because you are not with them, and it's not like you're not with them, they are married somewhere else.
Yeah.
So which means that they have a man who's probably taking care of her, and she probably even understood why her parents wanted her to marry the other guy. She went through with it in this 21st century. And then she still wants you to be around. She wants to mess your life up forever. If it was boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe I'll be a little, but she's married, for goodness sake. What can you do about it? Now, if you claim you love her so much, how much does she love you? To also want to give you your freedom so you can also move on. You see, sometimes when you love somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person needs to be in your bosom at all times. Sometimes, if the conditions are so unfavorable, you should allow the person to go. And that show of love is actually allowing the person to go so the person can also find love in somebody else. So they can also live their life.
Right.
So you want this man to never marry. You want this man to continue being your side boo all the time. You want this man to probably get caught by this man who could push your whole family into making sure that Sophie got married and probably end up killing him. Like, what exactly do you want? Yes, you called her bluff and then she attempted suicide. This is my thing. Go and report it, that she attempted committing suicide, and get her psychological help. I don't think that you should mortgage your life in perpetuity for being that thing that prevents her from committing suicide. You understand? If she tried committing it once, whatever she went through, she won't try it again. If she's a serious person. But if she tries committing again, then it means that she's not correct up there. She's not correct up there. Because, I don't know, the person is married. She's married. So, my dear, you know what? Pretend you haven't seen it. Maybe you were able to see that she even attempted committing suicide because you are still close.
Yeah.
You to distance yourself in such a way that, sometimes,
you won't hear it.
You won't hear it. If you have to move out, move away from the community, move far away from her as possible. But on hindsight, if there's any family member that knew of your relationship that you trust, let them know that this is what is going on, so they can get some psychological help for the lady. But by all means, don't be involved in the mix. That's why I keep saying that, look, break up, especially when the people are very much into you. And for one reason or the other, you have to break up. It has to be very definite. It has to be clean. Like, it has to be like use a samurai sword to just like that. That's how it should be. So the person gets the message loud and clear. No gray areas. And the person has gone to marry. I know you love me. I also love you too. But you have to marry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm always here for you. I'm always here for you. That girl is not going to move on. You also have to show her some anger. That, you know what, you didn't stand up for me. You couldn't stand up to your family for me. You've also broken my heart. I'm also in pain. For which reason, I'm gone for good. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You to go and live yourself somewhere. Tell them I'm also going to commit my suicide somewhere because you've also married somebody.
Yeah.
You understand? You see, I don't see why you want to
Hold yourself hostage.
Yeah. If you guys, maybe you were still dating, just that the parents were not agreeing and things like that, maybe you can say, I can say that, oh, maybe now that you realize that the girl can do this for you, maybe you guys should try and see the family and talk about it.
She's
but
married.
The cow is already gone to the owner. Then you two, the watchman. Oh.
Watchman indeed.
Charlie, I mean anything.
Olivia. Weigh in on this for us, eh?
Rosie Ball.
Rosie Vess.
No.
But Charlie, to add to what Rosie said, my guy, seriously, the fact that the girl chose and she didn't choose you, irrespective of family challenges and all of that, she didn't choose you. She chose somebody else. She had a lot of time to, argue things out with her family, maybe not necessarily even argue, or like find somebody to convince family members that, Charlie, I really want this guy instead of the other one you're forcing me to marry. She didn't do that. And the day that she said I do to the other one, that was it. There's no turning back. And for her to be entertaining you in the confines of her marriage is very worrying. You did a good thing. You decided that, Charlie, you've gone to marry, that's it. But Charlie, after you did that too, I don't know what she said to you last, you came back and then you came to shag that thing. Just in case you don't know, because this woman is married and you're having sex with a married woman, it's a curse. On your third and fourth generations, like, call a spade, like, it's a curse. You can't sleep with a married woman and think that it's okay. Like, there's nothing okay about that. Spiritually, you are completely tied with her. Now she's sleeping with her husband and she's sleeping with you. I don't even want to begin to even talk about all the STDs and stuff in between, but basically it's a mess. It's a mess you don't want to be getting into. And the fact that she wants to kill herself, I'm sorry, she should kill herself. I'm being mean, but that's what it is. The fact that she was somebody and not you, what are you even entertaining? What's the definition of your relationship? Like, whatever it is that guys are having, they're sweet to you. Like, at the end of the day, exactly where it stands. Like, what's going to happen? Is she going to kill her husband at some point in time to be with you? Like, this whole thing is a mess. This girl is getting all psycho, and it's a big problem. And like Rosie said, try and get her psychological help and long distance yourself. Block her, like I initially said in my first submission. Don't pick her calls up. Block her. You can decide to tell her that you've got some job somewhere and you are getting out of town. And truly, assuming you actually did get a job somewhere that would require you going out of town, what's going to happen? Is she going to travel over to you to go and have sex with you? You know what, my guy, man up. She's married. Cut the relationship. Tell her, you know what, you're married. We should no longer be doing this thing. Unless she's ready to divorce her husband and come and be with you. And I really don't see that happening because her family is really strong. Her family is backing what her family says, that's it. Because if there was something she could do about it, she would have done it and not married this other guy. And technically, I feel bad for this guy. This guy hasn't done anything wrong. Ask yourself, if you got married to a woman and the woman was sleeping with some other guy, how would you feel? That's definitely not cool. In the context of marriage, that is what she's decided to do. That is what she's bargaining for. Let her go and carry her cross and deal with her life. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you never know. She could have staged this whole, oh, I'm killing myself. Oh, I have to kill myself and all of that crap. For me, it's crap. I'm not interested. I don't think you should be shagging her. I don't think that's a relationship you should be in because first and foremost, it's not even defined and it's not going anywhere. It's a complete waste of your time and your attention, your everything. So, Charlie, my guy, cut this relationship ASAP and move on with your life. That's all I can say. And yeah, Rosie has said the psychological thing. So she needs a lot of help.
Gail.
Well, I think she doesn't have a mind of her own, first of all, because I mean, this day and age, who tell you who to marry, who choose your partner for you? I mean, fine, we know family has a very huge say when it comes to, like planning the marriage and everything, but to choose for you, I think it's about time they stop that, because somebody feels if I don't listen to my parents' choice, then I'm being disrespectful. But how is that possible. You're not a kid. You're the one who's going to live with the person. You're the one who gets to, build your life with that person. So you get to choose who you want. But having said that, she decided to go along with her parents. That's her choice. That's her business. You're not responsible for her. This guy is not responsible for whatever she does with herself. And it's like she's trying to, I'm seeing a form of manipulation here, trying to manipulate the guy,
100%.
like blackmail him emotionally and all of that, because she realized the guy has a soft spot for her and he will do anything for her. But it's not healthy. It's so toxic. And listening to the way the guy is talking, it's now like whatever she is going through in her mind emotionally, now it's kind of rubbing off on the guy as well, because the whole thing is so messy, as like Olivia said. If she says she wants to kill herself, how can you say her blood is going to be on your hands? You didn't pull the trigger.
But let me ask a question. Why didn't she attempt suicide when they were giving her to the man to marry?
Exactly.
Rosina.
That's the serious question. And you went ahead and went to be with the guy. And
maybe the guy got money.
Yes, exactly. So you two, I blame the lady too. So in a way, it's not totally only her parents, but she also went along with it to the slaughter.
You should have started misbehaving around that time.
That's
and then the parents will
yeah.
say that, okay, maybe this is who she wants. So because
so
we
don't
value
touch
our
her.
daughter.
She'll kill herself.
Because we value our daughter. Let her go where she wants to go. But you went along with it.
You went along with it.
Frustrate another man. Please, her blood is on her own hands.
So it's not, why will you carry down your head and say if she kills herself, then no, he shouldn't do that to himself. It's very presumptuous to think that if someone kills themselves, then unless you pull the trigger literally, you see. And so if like you said, he needs to cut her off. How do you know she tried to commit suicide? Because you're still poking your nose into her face, you need to move away from that negative vibe and energy and everything. You need to move away from that, because as long as she's moved to someone else's house and is legal, you have no business entertaining her. So if she needs to get help, it's not your responsibility. It's her family. They are part of the whole thing. They are the ones who, pushed her and she went into. And now, you see, when someone tries to kill themselves, it's either they're looking for attention or they are sick upstairs. So she needs help, obviously.
Either way.
But it's not the guy's business. So if I were you, just cut it off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Charlie, ladies, I hear you with everything you've said, but nothing resonates with me more than what Rosina just said.
The question you asked, yes. It's true.
When do I always give you to this man? You didn't think it was worthy, like this relationship you were in was worthy enough for you to try to commit suicide. So your parents know that.
You went through the whole process.
Yeah. You're right. I think she thought that she was going to benefit certain things.
From the man.
Maybe she's even benefiting, but she's realizing that she put too much premium on it and she really wants this guy.
Maybe
and
the
now
sex is not good with the guy.
There could be so many things.
Sex is not good with the guy. She's not communicating with the guy. The guy just thinks doting money is enough and she feels it's okay.
Guy, so she's
my guy
falling back on this.
Charlie, you get your own love.
Own her. In fact, you don't owe her anything. Zero, zilch, right? Cut her off. Next time she commits suicide, you won't even hear about it. You move.
Simple.